This is Steve Banky from Eco Bee Removal. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about removing bees from a soffit. It's a favorite place for bees to inhabit. And that soffit's that portion of the roof that hangs out over the wall. And they're always going to go right in between two roof rafters. And the longer you have them there, the more they're going to fill that up with honeycomb and bee larvae and honey, wax, the whole 9 yards. And you got to get it out. If you don't, bees are going to come back over and over again. Don't get misled by someone who's just going to spray and go, because even if they do kill the bees, it's all going to melt in there, and you're going to be getting bees back over and over again. Remember, all of your jobs should include opening, cleaning, closing, and warranty. 4 things. Open, clean, close, and warranty. If you don't get all four of those, you're wasting your time. There's 300 wild hives per square mile of Florida, and they're all looking for a home. They all divide between 3 and 13 times a year, depending on their variety. So they're looking for a home. If they can find a little crack in that soffit, they're going to go in there, and a big ball of bees is going to go in there and start inhabiting. It only takes a week to get a good sizable chunk of honeycomb, and then it just gets worse from there. So let's talk about what we're looking at when we're doing a live removal from a soffit. Okay, here's our typical soffit. This one's made out of wood. You have soffits that are made out of wood, plastic, plaster, aluminum. This is old wood, not very well done, and the bees found a home. You see, we've opened it up and we've exposed the honeycomb, the colonies right there, easy for us to get at. And this is a sizable hive, and obviously been here for a long time. It's a beautiful thing. I never get used to it. Okay, the technician goes work right away. We use a vacuum to catch some of the bees, a special vacuum that keeps them alive. And the process begins. We vacuum some of the bees, and then we start removing honeycomb and bee larvae one piece at a time. Today we're going to actually be putting the bees into a box with their larvae. Sometimes we get rid of the larvae and just rehome the bees, and sometimes we rehome the bees with the larva itself. So we're going to take the time to show you a perfect live removal. Technician down below is getting some of the bees off of the larva, which is going to go into that yellow canister right there. And the process goes back and forth. The technician going up and cutting one piece of comb at a time, gently handing it down to the technician down below as we catch the bees into a canister and take all their eggs and their honey and put it in a box full of bees that we will rehome together. Later on, we're going to actually introduce the bees right back on to their to their own brood, their own larvae, to their own honeycomb all over again. So this is the process. It takes quite a few hours. We're not going to show up and just spray and kill the bees and scrape it out. Most other companies are going to be in and out in 15 minutes worth of spraying, or they're going to just try to get it done as quickly as possible. We're trying to save bees. Here you can see the box full of bees. We're lowering each comb down in there, a specially designed box that's going to hold the brood, and then you can see the bees are all collecting right there. They can smell the pheromones. And again, we go out for another piece, and and the process takes quite a few hours. We only schedule about 2 of these a day, as opposed to other people that are in and out in about 15 minutes. So we're going to load this box up with honeycomb and brood, and then reintroduce the bees right back over it again. And we're going to leave with a box full of happy bees and a colony worth saving. And this is how live removal is performed. How live removal is performed as opposed to just, like I said, killing and going. Look at this beautiful piece of comb, and you can see actually the bee larva in it. So we're trying to save that larva, and then the bees will be put right back over their own larva, which they'll keep them warm and care for them. This whole box is going to be either given to a beekeeper or put back into nature. Look at the very efficient job now, and very clean, because that's the goal, is to get this as clean as possible. We will now dust this with a borax soap powder, stuff the space, put it all back together, and you will get a warranty. And that's what you should be looking for in every one of your jobs. When a swarm shows up at your house, it could be the size of a football up to the size of a basketball. 10,000 bees can go into a quarter-inch hole in about 2 hours. Most times, by the time you see them, they're already on the inside, or you'll see a little cluster on the outside. If you have an aluminum or plastic soffit, there's nothing to stop them. They don't make those to keep bees out in the first place, let alone taking it apart and putting it back together again. They're very very loose. That's why every one of your 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 contractors should be giving you opening, cleaning, closing, and warranty. If you don't do that, you're wasting your money. You've got to have all those done because you're going to get bees back. That smell is really really enticing. You got pheromones, honey. When bees are flying around looking for a place to live, they're going to smell that and they're going to be drawn right to it. So there's an opening or a crack or anything else, they're going to go in there. Once you have bees, the chance of getting bees back are really high. So that's why every one of your jobs should be open, clean, close, and warranty. Now, when we close, we stuff the space. We're not taking any chances. We're not going to give the bees an opportunity to grow in there again. So even if we weren't perfect, which we are, um, on our exclusion, even if bees got back in there, they wouldn't know what to do with the space. They can't reattach, and that's what you're looking for is somebody who knows what they're doing. We're skilled craftsmen, and we're live bee removal experts, and the combination makes for a good job. And you know what? Once you realize the logic of removing honeycomb and compare prices, choose somebody that's going to do live removal. We're going to do one or two jobs a day, and we're going to take the time to save the bees. Everyone else is just going to take your money, clean, and go. So when you can, choose live removal. Um, Hope this tape was beneficial to you. This is Steve Benke, ecobeeremoval.com. Save bees and be blessed.